Ryan, thanks for the time. Curious what it was like going up against DeForest Buckner in pads for the first time today.
Yeah, a lot of fun having the pads on for the first time. I think he brings a certain level of energy to that defensive line that's contagious. And obviously, if you look at the guy, I think he's like 6'7", 300 pounds. So when you add that kind of speed and ability to use his length, it's hard to block him. So I know he's making us better, and I hope that we're making him better at the same time. So obviously excited to have him on our team and just to raise the elevation of both sides.
George Bremer.
Ryan, thanks for your time. Coach Strausser said, I think last week, that one of the goals was to be more consistent as an offensive line and to go consistently to that elite level. What do you think needs to happen for you to get there?
Yeah, I think there were certain times in the season where we just let our fundamentals, kind of go to the wayside, and those were the games that we didn't run the ball very efficiently. And I think that everybody knows that that's what we pride ourselves on. We're going to get everybody's game, the best defensive game every week we play them, because they know, if they don't bring it, we have a great day of running, that it could be bad for them. So I think that that's one of the areas of consistency that we need to improve on is our fundamentals, and that's all it comes down to. I mean, they get paid, they make a lot of money too. So we know they're going to be good players, but I think if we trust our fundamentals and do what we have to do up front, it just makes the pass game a lot easier too. It makes our lives a lot easier. And so I think that's one area that we've really pinpointed as an emphasis this year for consistency in the running game.
LB.
Ryan, thanks for your time. I'm wondering if there's a moment today where you're out there and it's just playing football again. It's the grind of training camp, and you're no longer thinking about how unusual the offseason been. Like, this is what you're meant to do.
Yeah, I mean, the more we talk about Corona, I think the more everybody gets tired and sick and tired of hearing about it, So we understand that, it's a real thing. We're doing everything we can to stay safe, and I think for the most part we've done that. The first day of pads when you're out there, and it's about 100% humidity this morning. So when you're done stretching and the heart rate's running and it's racing pretty good, and you're getting ready to go to individual and get work pretty good. It's football, man. So that's training camp. That's the way it is, and that's the way we love. I mean, that's what you come for. It's what you grind for. I mean, this is year 5 of doing it in the NFL, and it never gets any easier. But I think as you get older, you love the competitiveness of training camp and know how much vital teamwork you get in those reps and in those series. And so just love being out there. I mean, it's obviously it's a grind. I mean, that was only an hour and a half today, and we're going to keep going up from there. So gotta get used to it and get back in the mode of working. So I know we only have 11 padded practices, I think, total. So if you look, that's not a lot of practices to get ready for Jacksonville. So gotta take advantage of every single one we get.
Thank you.
Cap.
Yeah, Ryan, since we get you here, any update on the extension, or is this going to happen after the season, or is there an update?
I've talked to my agent a few times. I know he's been in contact with the Colts, and so just trying to focus my mind on doing training camp. I think I'm hopeful that it'll happen soon. Yeah, I mean, I think we here 14 hours a day, so I pretty much got enough on my plate. But just leaving my agent Jimmy Sexton up to that one. I know he's incredible at what he does, and so I hope he gets it worked out.
Joel Erickson.
Is it hard to even think about your contract or anything when you're doing training camp and practicing every day?
I mean, I can't say I wouldn't think about it. It's your future. It's what what you're tied under. What you're going to be making and how many years you're going to be there. So, but it's such a weird off season. It's already August 17th right now, and we have a game. In basically 30 days, maybe less than that. And so today being the first day we're being able to be in pads, after just an hour and a half on practices, I know how much better I have to be tomorrow, the day after that, the day after that. And so I have a lot of improving to do on myself. And so as much as we have 12, 14-hour days, and it seems like there's a lot of time to get improvement, there's not. There's a lot of meeting time, a lot of stuff physically you have to get done. And so I'm going to be busy doing that, for the next 10 hours, whatever it is the rest of the day. So that's where I dedicate all my time to. Whatever happens outside of that, I can control that in the way home or whatever it is. But when I'm here, I'm working on this body, making sure that I can, play the season, play well, help my team, to the best of my ability and do my job.
Zach Kiefer.
Ryan, you mentioned only 11 padded practices and without the preseason games, and I don't know how you feel about those, but a lot of guys didn't like those. Is that enough to get ready for September 13th? I mean, do you guys think you're going to really get enough in over the next couple of weeks, or how different will that be from your position in the trenches, really getting the physical aspect of camp down?
Well, I mean, it's going to have to be. We can't add any more, and I mean, we could obviously subtract them, but we're not. I know we're not doing that. So, 11 is not ideal. Obviously, it's 11 days of hitting as compared to a lot of the other years where there's a heck of a lot more. So, from a body standpoint, I think that it's obviously going to help some guys, to stay healthy, but. You really those days in pads are so valuable, man. I mean, and whatever happens in practice is going to happen in the game. So, like I said, it's August 17th. That's one day down, 10 more to go in pads. And so I think that Frank's message has been incredible to the team. Is that look, we have 11 padded practices. If you really think about it, that's nothing. I mean, you have an off day after a couple of them, and so it's really 3 weeks of practice. And to get us to where we have to go. Week 1 against Jacksonville in September. It's going to be hot. Guys got to push themselves. I think that message has been clear from day one. And so I know that Frank is such a clear and concise leader. And I think he trusts the room to go out there and do what we have to do. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect day one. It wasn't today. Some mistakes were made. But I think that the more we can get our plays down through our walkthroughs and all that, you get to take advantage of the time you have. And so the physicality aspect is going to be ramped up for 10 more days. But those walkthroughs we have a new quarterback, we have new players all around us. The communication, that aspect has to be down 100% before you can get out there. And so that's one of the aspects we can work on without with being limited in the physical side of it.
We'll go 2 more questions. Kent Sterling.
Hey, Ryan, how do you judge your level of work on a day like today?
Well, I mean, I'm covered in sweat right now. I'm sitting on a towel, so I guess I sweated enough. So I guess I got that going for me. But you look back at the practice, and as NFL players, and you don't get in this room without being a competitive person in your nature. And so I think as we watch the film, and I know I'm going to see things that I don't like, or that I know I can do better. I can compare to last season, or how I was moving on this, or how I did this, or where my eyes went. And so you have to have a starting point somewhere. And today was the starting point for us. Like I said before, we don't have many padded practices. So from day 1 to day 2 to, continue moving forward, you're going to have to keep making strides, And so I think that's one thing that we're all going to have to do is to really improve from day to day and just not make the same mistakes we made today. So for me, the communication aspect is obviously starts with me. And so that's one thing I'll be looking at. And, how I'll put my hands and my feet. I mean, that's all it's about as an offensive lineman. And if you can master those 2, then you can be all right.
And last question, Stephen Holder.
Hey, Ryan, you kind of alluded to this a little bit already, but, when it comes to getting accustomed to a new quarterback, especially as a center, what are the details of that process? I mean, is it more than just cadence? I mean, what all does that entail, I guess, and how is that coming at the moment? Yeah,
it's obviously cadence is a big thing. I know I've touched on that in the past, but I can't stress enough how important that is. When you have a guy who can really work the cadence and knows when to utilize certain ones on certain plays, it really enhances the game and helps us up front, to do our job to slow the defensive line down. The other things I would say were, obviously how a quarterback sees the game. How does he see things? How does he communicate with you? And that's all done, through the walkthroughs that we've been having for the last couple of weeks. And so I feel pretty confident in our relationship with Phil, and just obviously working with him every single day. It's he brings a certain skill set and a certain knowledge and IQ of football that I haven't seen before, just from how many years he's been in the NFL. He's seen everything, and so. His lingo, his verbiage, everything like that. I mean, you're sitting at the line of scrimmage and he's saying something that you're not used to, and the clock's winding down, you got to figure it out, so it's kind of trial by error, and you kind of just learn to run. And so I think that we've done a great job in the past couple of weeks of really honing in on that and getting just all 5 guys and him on the same page. I mean, that's really what it's about. It's a great situation for us. We're happy to have him. Love having him back there, and you just continue to see working. You're just working every single day. Something new's going to pop up, a new problem, and you just solve it and keep moving on.